October 15th, 2018, 6:32 in the morning. I sat at my kitchen table with a cup of black coffee and a spiral notebook from Dollar General. 3 numbers. That's all I wrote. 3 simple numbers that my neighbor Bill told me would change everything. I thought he was losing his mind. 30 days later, I had to apologize because those 3 numbers, written in that cheap notebook every single morning, did something I never thought possible. They turned my broke retirement into the beginning of real wealth. Let me back up. This was 3 years after I'd retired with $11,000. I'd made some progress. Wasn't rich, but wasn't panicking anymore either. I had maybe $47,000 spread between my checking account and a small investment account. Not terrible, but not enough to feel secure. I was still shopping at Walmart with a calculator, still skipping the early bird special at Cracker Barrel because $12 seemed like too much for eggs and bacon. Bill knocked on my door that Monday morning. He was 68, retired from the post office, and honestly, I thought he was kind of a mess. His yard looked terrible. His pickup truck was falling apart, and he wore the same 3 flannel shirts in rotation. But Bill had something I didn't have. He never seemed worried about money, never checked prices at the grocery store, never mentioned his electric bill, never complained about property taxes. "Harold," he said, standing on my front porch with that crooked grin of his, "you want to know the difference between people who worry about money and people who don't?" I poured him coffee and listened. "People who worry about money," Bill said, "think about money when they don't have it. People who don't worry about money think about money when they do have it. Every single day. First thing in the morning." He pulled out a beat-up composition notebook, the kind kids use for school. Black and white marbled cover, maybe cost him 50 cents. 3 numbers, Bill said, every morning. Same 3 numbers. Write them down, look at them, think about them. 30 days, that's all I'm asking. Before I share what those 3 numbers are, I want you to do something. Write in the comments right now, "I build my wealth starting today." Not tomorrow, not next month, today. Because what I'm about to tell you only works for people who decide first. I was skeptical. Who wouldn't be? This is Bill we're talking about, the guy whose sprinkler system sprayed his neighbor's driveway instead of his own grass. But something in his voice was different that morning, more serious, more confident. "What 3 numbers?" I asked. Bill flipped open his notebook. I could see pages and pages of handwritten numbers, dates going back months, neat columns, careful handwriting. "Number 1, he said, is your cash flow from yesterday. Money in minus money out. Could be positive, could be negative. Write the exact amount. Number 2 is your net worth from last week. Add up everything you own, subtract everything you owe. Write that number down too. Number 3 is your growth rate from last month. How much did your net worth increase or decrease as a percentage? Calculate it. Write it down." I stared at him. "That's it?" "That's it." "How does writing numbers in a notebook make me money, Bill?" He closed the notebook and looked me straight in the eye. "It doesn't make you money, Harold. It makes you pay attention. And people who pay attention to money make different decisions than people who don't." He left me with that notebook and a promise to check back in 30 days. I'll be honest, I almost didn't do it. The whole thing felt silly, like some kind of weird ritual. But I had nothing to lose except maybe 10 minutes every morning. So I started. Day 1, October 16th, 2018. I wrote down my 3 numbers. Cash flow from yesterday, minus $23. Bought groceries, paid for gas. Net worth from last week, $47,200. Growth rate from last month, 0.2%, barely moved. I stared at those numbers for maybe 30 seconds and went about my day. Day 2 was similar. Day 3, day 4, day 5. Just numbers in a notebook. I wasn't seeing any magic, wasn't feeling any different. My bank account hadn't mysteriously doubled overnight. But something strange happened on day 6. I was at Home Depot about to buy a new rake for $34.99. Nothing wrong with my old rake. It just looked a little beat up. I had the rake in my cart walking toward the register when I stopped. I thought about that morning's number. Cash flow from yesterday, minus $15. Coffee at McDonald's, newspaper, stamps at the post office. For the first time in my life, I connected a purchase I was about to make with the number I'd written down that morning. I put the rake back, went home, used my old rake that afternoon. It worked just fine. Most people click away when someone tells them they're wrong about money. You didn't. Hit subscribe. That rake moment was small, tiny, but it was the beginning of something bigger. Because now every purchase, every single purchase, went through a filter. Not can I afford this, but what will this do to tomorrow morning's number? Day 12. I was looking at my net worth number, $47,850, up $650 from the week before. Nothing dramatic, but I realized something. I'd never tracked my net worth weekly before. I'd check it maybe every few months, usually when I was feeling worried or curious. But seeing it every week? That was different. I started noticing patterns. Weeks when I ate out more, my net worth moved slower. Weeks when I found small ways to save, buying generic at Walmart, skipping the premium gas, making coffee at home instead of stopping at McDonald's. My net worth moved faster. Small changes, but I was seeing the results in real time. Day 18 was when everything clicked. I was calculating my growth rate for the month, 1.8%. Not spectacular, but better than the 0.2% from the month before. I sat there with my calculator and realized something that changed everything. If I could maintain 1.8% growth per month, I'd have $58,000 by the end of the year. If I could get to 2.5% monthly growth, I'd have $62,000. If I could hit 3% monthly growth, I'd have $67,000. For the first time in my retirement, I wasn't just hoping my money would last. I was planning for it to grow. The numbers stopped being just numbers. They became a game, a challenge, a scorecard. Day 25. I was at Costco with my usual list. Paper towels, coffee, chicken breast, the basics. But now I was thinking differently. Instead of just buying what I needed, I was thinking about efficiency. Buying the bigger packages saved money per unit, which improved my daily cash flow, which improved my weekly net worth, which improved my monthly growth rate. Same store, same products, but my brain was working differently. Day 30 arrived fast. Bill knocked on my door again, right on schedule. "How'd it go?" he asked. I showed him my notebook. 30 days of numbers, 30 days of data. Cash flow had improved from negative most days to positive most days. Net worth had grown from $47,200 to $49,400. Growth rate had gone from 0.2% to 2.8%. But more than that, and this is the part that surprised me, I felt different about money, less anxious, more in control, like I was driving instead of just hoping the car wouldn't break down. "So what happened?" Bill asked. "I started paying attention," I said. "And when you pay attention, you make better decisions," Bill smiled. "You want to know something, Harold? Those 3 numbers saved my marriage." I looked at him confused. My wife and I used to fight about money every single week. She'd want to buy something. I'd say we couldn't afford it. She'd get mad. I'd get defensive. Same argument, different week. But when I started tracking these numbers, something changed. We stopped arguing about whether we could afford things. We started looking at what those things would do to our numbers. He pulled out his worn notebook again. Last month, she wanted new living room furniture, $2,800. Instead of me saying no and her getting upset, we looked at the numbers together. We calculated what $2,800 would do to our net worth, our cash flow, our growth rate. We decided to wait 6 months, save up and buy it without financing. No fight, no stress, just math. That conversation changed how I thought about everything, because someone had shown me something called the morning $500 rule. It says money only flows to people who measure it daily. 15 minutes every morning before 7 a.m. Write the numbers, look at them, think about them. That's all it took. The details are in the description below. I kept going with the notebook. Day 40, day 50, day 60. The numbers kept improving, but more importantly, my relationship with money kept improving. I wasn't afraid of it anymore, wasn't avoiding it, wasn't hoping it would somehow take care of itself. By day 90, I'd made my first real investment since retiring, a small position in a dividend stock that paid monthly. By day 120, I'd opened a high-yield savings account that actually earned more than 0.1% interest. By day 150, I'd started a small consulting business helping other retirees organize their finances. All because I wrote 3 numbers in a notebook every morning. But here's what really convinced me this wasn't just coincidence. I started talking about it at church. My friend Carl tried it. His neighbor Margaret tried it. The guy who bags groceries at Walmart tried it. Same results. Every single time. Carl went from spending $400 a month on things he couldn't even remember to spending $150 a month on things he actually needed. Margaret discovered she had $12,000 sitting in a checking account earning nothing. She moved it to a CD earning 4.5%. The grocery bagger, his name is Steve, started tracking his tips and realized he made an extra $200 a month when he worked weekend shifts. So he started working more weekends. 3 different people, 3 different situations, same 3 numbers, same transformation. It's not magic. It's not complicated. It's just attention. Most people, and I was guilty of this too, treat their money like their weight. They avoid looking at it, hope it's not getting worse, and check it only when they're feeling brave or desperate. But imagine if you stepped on a scale every single day, tracked your exact weight, your weekly progress, your monthly improvement rate. You'd make different food choices, different exercise choices, different everything choices. Money works the same way. The 3 numbers force you to confront reality every single day, not once a month when your bank statement arrives, not twice a year when you meet with your financial advisor. Every single day. And when you confront reality every day, you start changing reality every day. Small changes compound. That $35 rake I didn't buy in October turned into $400 I didn't spend on unnecessary things by December. The 1.8% monthly growth rate I achieved in November turned into 3.2% monthly growth by March. After everything I learned, the zero savings law, the morning $500 rule, the identity switch, all 7 of them, they're in something called the Wealth After 65 Code. I wish someone had given me this when I retired with $11,000 in my account. The link is right below this video. By my 69th birthday, those 3 numbers in that 50-cent notebook had helped me cross 6 figures in net worth. By my 70th birthday, I was closing in on $200,000. Today, at 74, I'm worth more than I was at 55, 45, or 35. Not because I got lucky, Not because I inherited money. Not because the stock market had a good year. Because I wrote 3 numbers in a notebook every morning for 30 days. Then 60 days. Then 100 days. Then I just never stopped. The compound effect of paying attention is the most powerful force in personal finance. More powerful than high returns. More powerful than hot stock tips. More powerful than cutting coupons or finding the best deals. Attention creates awareness. Awareness creates better decisions. Better decisions create better results. Better results create momentum. Momentum creates wealth. I still have that first notebook. All 30 pages of numbers. Some people keep photo albums. I keep that notebook because those 30 days didn't just change my bank account. They changed my entire relationship with money, from fear to curiosity, from avoidance to engagement, from hoping to planning. Bill was right about something else too. The 3 numbers didn't make me money. They made me pay attention. And people who pay attention to money make different decisions than people who don't. Every morning, same routine. Coffee first, then the notebook. Cash flow from yesterday. Net worth from last week. Growth rate from last month. 3 numbers, 5 minutes, 1 transformation. Your numbers will be different than mine. Your starting point will be different. Your goals will be different. But the principle is exactly the same. What you measure, you manage. What you manage, you improve. What you improve, you compound. And compound interest, even on small improvements, is the closest thing to magic that exists in the real world. Start tomorrow morning. Buy a notebook tonight. Doesn't have to be fancy. That Dollar General spiral notebook works just fine. Get up 5 minutes earlier. Pour your coffee. Open the notebook. Write 3 numbers. Look at them. Think about them. Then go about your day. Do it again the next morning, and the next, and the next. In 30 days, you'll understand what I understood. In 60 days, you'll see what I saw. In 90 days, you'll be a different person, making different decisions with different results. Not because the numbers are magic, because paying attention is magic. Before you go, write this in the comments. I start now. 3 words, that's all. Because starting is the hardest part, and you just did it. 65 is not the end of your financial story. It's not even the middle. Those 3 numbers will prove it to you, one morning at a time. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Once you feel it, you can't unfeel it. Once you know it, you can't unknow it. Your best financial years aren't behind you. They're ahead of you. Starting tomorrow morning. Starting with 3 numbers. Starting now.